Well, good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with me, Pastor Michelle. Today's Friday, January 9th, 8th, sorry. And let's start with our daring woman of the night. And it's Eleanor Smith, and she's a fearless flyer. So let's hear about Eleanor. When she was 6, her family was driving through the country when they saw a sign that said airplane rides $5. So her and her little brother climbed into the cockpit and off they went. Before the plane had even landed, Eleanor knew she was born to fly. She started taking flying lessons when she was 10. Since she was too short to reach the pedals, her instructor tied blocks of wood to them. She also sat on a pillow so she could see where she was headed. In 1928, when she was only 16 years old, she became the youngest person to receive a pilot's license signed by Orville Wright. Eleanor was an inspiration to other girls who wanted to fly, but not everyone believed in her. Male pilots often teased and ridiculed her. One stunt pilot went even further and bet she wasn't good enough to fly under one of New York's bridges, something no one had ever done before. He expected her to back down and admit she wasn't capable, but she didn't. She not only accepted his dare, she said she would fly under all 4 bridges in New York. So she carefully prepared for this spectacular feat. She studied tides, measured and calculated her route, and on Sunday, October 21st, 1928, the 17-year-old was ready. Before she took off, the legendary aviator Charles Lindbergh personally wished her luck. Newsreel reporters lined the bridges as she took off. She flew under the Queensboro Bridge, just feet above the river. Then she ducked her plane under the Williamsburg Bridge. Halfway done, she waved to spectators and swooped under the Manhattan Bridge. Only the Brooklyn Bridge was left, but there was a problem. A tanker and a Navy ship were chugging away under the bridge. Would she fit? She turned her plane and flew sideways under the bridge and between the ships. Her stunt played on newsreels and movie theaters all over the world. It also came to the attention of New York's mayor. What she had done was illegal. She could lose her pilot's license forever. Instead, it was suspended for 10 days. Rather than being considered a criminal, she was hailed as a hero. She went on to set speed, altitude, and endurance records, too many for her to count. She also became the first woman test pilot for 2 airplane manufacturers. Not only was she born to fly, but she opened doors in the skies to future generations of female aviators. Well, good for her. I think of that Queensboro Bridge. That bridge is mentioned in the theme song to King of Queens on a funny show that I just recently got done rewatching for the millionth time. It's a show I watch almost every other year. I have shows like that I will watch over and over again. The King of Queens, Sex and the City, How I Met Your Mother, Lois and Clark, of course, Friends, The Office, New Girl. There's a lot. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's a lot. So let's get into our Disney story, and it's from Beauty and the Beast, and it's called Just Desserts. Belle walked to the village thinking about the wonderful book she had just finished reading. It was full of fire-breathing dragons, magical wizards, and brave princesses. All of a sudden, Belle's thoughts were interrupted by a great crashing noise. Even before he spoke a word, Belle knew who was walking behind her. She would recognize that stomp anywhere. Gaston, Belle muttered. Belle, is it true? Have you come out from behind a book? Bonjour, Gaston, Belle said. She was tempted to open her book again on the spot. Off to market, eh? I shall accompany you, Gaston announced. Gaston followed Belle into shop after shop, keeping up a steady stream of chatter about himself and his exploits. My Gaston, you certainly do boast well, Belle said in a flattering tone. Yes, thank you. Before realizing that Belle was not complimenting him, his smile disappeared briefly as he opened the door to the bakery. Belle stepped inside and quickly asked for an apple tart before Gaston could begin speaking again. When the tart was in her basket, she waved to Gaston and the shopkeeper. Goodbye, she called. And the shopkeeper said goodbye. Belle, wait, Gaston caught her arm. I really have no time to linger. Gaston, I must get home to make dinner. I can walk you home. Puffing out his massive chest, I insist upon it. You need protection. Belle laughed. Protection from what? These woods are my backyard. From predators, monsters, thieves, Gaston said dramatically. Belle sighed and she shook her head. Just then the two heard something coming down the path, something large. Quickly, Gaston pushed Belle out of harm's way. Belle tumbled to the ground. Her basket went flying. "Look out!" Belle yelled, but it was too late. The predator emerged. It was her father's horse, Felipe. For the first time that she could remember, Belle smiled at the sight of Gaston. The apple tart had landed right on top of his head. Oh, God bless you all, my friends.